Hi guys, and welcome to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel in the very heart of a rice field. Can you hear that? That noise is a wind charm, obviously, to keep away the wildlife from eating the look, can you see? Let me just pull some, I'm sure they won't mind. There you go, the rice. Can you see the rice? There you go, we're right in the rice field. There you go. Well guys, what a beautiful day it is today, and what should we talk about today? I suppose when I look back when I first began this spiritual journey, this kind of happy path and this sad path and this amazingly frustrating energy path, this heightened awareness path, I realised that, you know, the spiritual path isn't always what you and I believe it is. You know, it's meant to be, you know, filled with joy and all that. No, I kind of realised looking back now, I was kind of fooled in the belief that, you know, the spiritual path was all about inner peace and happiness, when in fact the spiritual path is a great struggle, because to actually get to inner peace, nirvana, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, you have to overcome a lot of challenges. And many people call themselves spiritual, but they don't act spiritual. They don't walk the path of spiritual awareness. And basically that's what it is. It's being aware constantly of all your faults and everybody else's issues and problems, and why we create the world that we create, why we create anger, frustration, pain, suffering. It's kind of like looking at all of the things and understanding, or trying to understand. And one of the most profound things for me that I've realized that has changed in my life since walking this path of enlightenment is not reacting anymore. You see, I think the reason why most of us react in a negative way is because we don't understand any given situation. Do you understand that? I mean, think about that for a moment. When we react in a negative way, we presume something instantly and we make a judgment. And if we get angry and react angrily to it, it's normally because we don't look at the bigger picture. We just have our set ideas, and that's it. A bit like me when I first came into Mias Pueblo with the donkeys. I saw the donkeys being abused, and that was it. Nothing else mattered. I was angry and frustrated, and over the years I tried to make a difference by battling and fighting, and realizing that you don't get anywhere by doing that. And actually you do get somewhere, and that's to hurt yourself and hurt the other people that you're angry with. So it's a lose-lose situation, not a win-win. So I started looking at life a little bit differently and trying to change, and God, it took so long, and even today I still knee-jerk at times, but I'm getting better because I'm recognizing that I don't knee-jerk like I used to do. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, well, it is for me anyway. So how did I get there? How did I get here at this moment to say to you that, you know what, I'm getting better at this? I think when we look at how people react at what we do, let's take for instance, if I took a hammer and hit you over the head with a hammer, that physical action would warrant you to say to me, Jesus Mark, what the hell do you think you're doing? You've just smashed me over the head with a hammer. You're bloody crazy. You should be locked up. Okay, now I take that and see what I've done and said, yeah, you're right. I deserved what you just said. That's one aspect of how we interact. Then there's another aspect of I'm having a conversation with somebody, and I may say something derogatory, negative, like, just say I said to you, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making your life a misery. Their reaction back to me is well deserved by saying, you know what, that's terrible, how dare you do that, you know, why would you do that? And then they get angry with me. Now I can understand why they said that, because of what I've said to them. Okay, but here's a guy who has spent 13 years trying to find himself and never really hurt anybody, never intentionally wanted to hurt anybody, always wanting to share and love and share his love with people and his kindness, his hugs, and try to be nice and share messages of love and kindness. And then he was being attacked. This guy was being attacked for doing what he felt was a loving, kind act. Now, this is where it gets complicated. This is where spirituality within yourself needs to kick in. And it's called awareness and being aware of others and their energy. So, when I looked at myself, and trust me, I spent many years doing this, not 1 or 2 years, maybe 6 or 7 years. And people were saying the most horrendous, horrible things. Religious people were calling me a devil. Just people who had never met me before, who never even heard of me, was calling me a fraud, a charlatan, and a nasty this. And I would spend countless hours crying, I've got to admit, thinking I'm going to stop all this and hide in a corner and don't speak, don't say anything. There was days and weeks, if not months, me trying to understand what I was doing wrong to hurt people, looking at what my actions were. Am I dressed right? Am I saying something that is meaningfully hurtful? And I would focus my energy on all of those years at that. And in truth, I think that's part of the journey as well, because you're going to have to look at everything to get to where you are, which is here today on this rice field. And this is why I can share this message with you with my whole heart and truth, my truth. And that is, the simple fact is, when anybody ever attacks you personally, it is a mirror image of how they are triggered by their weaknesses. So for instance, I'm sat here in Ubud in a rice field. It will trigger somebody on this video to put a thumbs down because how the hell, or how dare he do this video in Bali? Who the hell does he think he is? Now all of that is a weakness on their part because they don't believe in themselves enough to be able to come to a place like Bali and sit down in a rice field, because one, they don't believe that they're good enough and they'll never get there because of maybe monetary value, or they don't feel worthy in themselves because they look at this as too big a dream for them. So they attack this, and by attacking this video and putting a thumbs down makes them feel better in themselves, because if I put a thumbs down, I don't need to look at that again and aim for it and want to. Now, there are people like you guys who watch this, who put a thumbs up, who say, you know what, I want that dream. I'm going to live that dream. If he can do it, I can do it. You see the difference? So if you are watching this video and you're smiling thinking, do you know what, Mark, you really have worked hard to get to where you are. You put your time and effort in 13 years, and the love that you've shared, the reward has come to you, and I can see that, and I appreciate what you've done. And if you see life like that, then that is the way I have seen life. So if I see somebody who is in another country doing well, and this, I just think, wow, and if that feels right to me, if that's the dream that I want, I will go for that dream and work at it. But there are two types of people in this world, as you know. And there was a saying when I was a kid, and that saying was, and this is no disrespect against any country, but there are two types of people. So there's two boys, and they're on a street corner, and a Ferrari or Lamborghini drives past. And one of the boys said, look at him, who the hell does he think he is? And the other boy turns around and says, wow, when I get older, I'm going to have one of them. And you see the difference between you and the other person? Be proud of yourself that you are that second person who sees and feels the love of others' happiness. And by manifesting that for others and sharing that, you receive equal love and happiness, regardless whether dreams come true, because our path is always set out for us, regardless. So we are going to be where we're going to be, and we're going to go where we're going to go. But embrace that energy and that love and that trust that whatever you do, in the end, you will find your peace and inner happiness. Because there are many people, dear friends, who are sat in a rice field like this, who are miserable, sad and lost. So wherever you are in this world and you're watching this, whether it's in a little tiny room, wherever you are and you're happy, then you are ultimately the richest person in the world. So always remember this as a final note. Whenever anybody ever gets upset with you, and you stop and look at yourself and ask yourself, is this warranted? Do I deserve this? And you quickly realize that it wasn't, then embrace the fact that this person who puts thumbs down, who puts angry messages, is because they're living in that angry energy of thumbs down and negativity. And it's never a personal attack on you. It's just you are a reflection of what they believe that they cannot achieve. And that's it. It's ultimately that simple. And by doing that, you are never again affected by other people's weaknesses, because that's what it is. It's their weakness to believe in themselves, their inner power. So it's great to see this. And if somebody who puts a thumbs down on this video can watch this, the penny may drop and they may say, oh my God, I can't believe I've been doing this. I can't believe what I've done. And then if you have done that, then today makes my day the most profound day in the world, because I have helped change one person from living in that fear and anger which was instilled into you because of your childhood. It's never your fault when you get angry with somebody else because you feel you cannot achieve something. I am not pointing the finger at you. I am just saying that we have all gone through that path of being bamboozled, punched, hit, controlled, pushed and told that you're not good enough. And that's fear that's been instilled into all of us. So today, if I've changed a thought that you can think about this and become stronger than that and become amazing and start to change the chip of saying, you know what, I'm going to get that, I'm going to do that because I am worthy and good enough and I am going to create my life. Then today, guys, I've done my job, because this video is for you. The ones who are already happy are already on their journey. It's you who I'm looking at, the ones who feel bad. So I learned that 13 years ago, that I needed to look at myself. And anytime I get negative or I start getting personal and attack people, I started looking at myself and asked myself why. And I realized it wasn't my fault. It was a programming of a system, of a world that put fear into me not to believe in myself. So today, for all the people who put thumbs down, I love you with all my heart, and you are amazing, and there's nothing in this world that you cannot conquer. And I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And that's the truth. So change that around. Believe in yourself and start to find your happiness through everything that you see that makes you upset. Make a difference. Be the best you can be. Have a great day, guys, from my heart to yours. Take care.